things around. Let's say hello to Phil Simms. He knows a little something about winning Super Bowl champions, MVPs, all of that. Welcome in, Phil. How are you?
Well, I'm doing okay, and I don't know enough about them. You know, no matter how many you win or what happens in your career, you're always thinking about one thing, all the ones that we should have won. So,
as we start this off, and I'm going to look at Leon, and he'll follow what you have to say, but
yeah, he knows.
The losses, they stick with you more than wins, don't they?
Yeah, I think when you look at the totality of seasons, when you know you're a pretty good team, if you get in the playoffs and don't finish it off, or, you know, I was on a couple of teams who didn't even make the playoffs, and I thought, damn, they were the best teams I played on in my career. So, it's even worse now. The NFL is just tough. There's so many good players, and the margin of error is it's so slim. And I always go back to this. Yes, you need talent to win and all that. But I also say, and I really, really deep down believe this a lot, more and more as time goes along, it's more about coaching now than ever before. And I see it around the league. And if you get the right talent and the coach can just get the best out of it, that's when you have successful seasons. And you hope every once in a while you have a chance to, you know, take it farther, win the playoff games, and get fortunate enough to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, Phil, I'm still going to counseling for the loss of Super Bowl 30, by the way. Still dealing with that.
Leon, first off, good to talk to you. I covered many games that you did. I'm sure I wrote many reports on you during your career and all that. But, look, you had a great career, man.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate it.
At least, you know, sometimes it's always about the team. But every once in a while, it's got to be personal, man. Like, damn, you know, it's so I know where you're coming from.
Yeah. Phil, explain this Jaguar team. We're talking about just 12 months ago, this team was the number one seed in the NFL, in the AFC, and now they're 2-9. I mean, how does that happen? I mean, is it coaching? Is it playing? What is it?
Man, you know, listen, I follow them. I'm not going to sit here and say I follow the Jacksonville Jaguars as much as I have to do with some of these premier teams that everybody always wants to talk about, hear about, and all that. But, you know, I would put it to this first. And I'm a huge believer in this too, and I preach it all the time. And we saw it. We see it every once in a while when we watch certain teams. But if you have – it's about the first and foremost to me, yes, the coaching, which I already talked about. But, damn, you don't need a good offensive line. You need one that's really good. I'm not going to say you need greatness up front, but the offensive lines are so important. Look at all the playoff teams every single year, and very seldom do we see an outlier. Like the biggest one I've seen was when the Cincinnati Bengals went to the Super Bowl with arguably one of the bottom 5 offensive lines in the NFL. Yeah. And they just seemed to get it done without it. Joe Burrow, of course, was on fire, all those things. But look at Philadelphia. Just, you know, look at some of these teams, the Detroit Lions. Man, it starts and finishes, I think, so much with their team. It's just about their offensive line. Can dominate, do all the right things that really trickles down and helps every part of your football team.
So, Phil, we're in year 4 now with Trevor Lawrence. Are we at the point now where the Jaguars, as a franchise, are wasting years with him right now because they haven't figured out the offensive line?
Well, damn, you know, the offensive line should be better than it is. I mean, that's the first thing you know, I remember during the offseason, I started looking at teams. I looked at, you know, Jacksonville and went, damn, that's pretty good. I mean, I like it up front. They got a chance, but I don't see that as much when I watch them play. And I know the last game Trevor played in, was it the Eagles game?
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago. He's missed the last 2.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah. So I remember watching that game just going, wow, it breaks. It's okay. And then all of a sudden it's just a guy that gets there so fast that it ruins the job for Trevor. And my point being this, is you asked me the question, Trevor Lawrence is a franchise quarterback. And if I was a coach in the league and he said, hey, Phil, it's not working here. Here's Trevor Lawrence. What do you think? I said, hold on, let me think about it. I'll take him. Okay? I'll take him. He's big. He can move around. He's got a good arm. Are there other things I'd like to see from him? And to be, you know, I'm not down there and I'm not around the team, so I don't know. But I love quarterbacks that have a personality, good, bad, whatever you want to call it, that it kind of permeates through the team. So I don't know if that does with him or what, but I know the talent is big time. I would like to see him be not just a good thrower of the football, but he should be a great thrower of the football. He has arm strength, everything we talked about, and I just think he's got to be a hair more consistent. I say this all the time, too. You got to hit the routine plays. I mean, you got to hit them at a very, very high percentage, and you just can't miss open receivers in the NFL. And the footballs they use now, that's one of my pet peeves, but they're great. You can handle them well. And Trevor should be one of those guys, when we talk about it, just go, wow, he's right at the top when it comes to arm talent in the NFL.
I love what you're saying, and I think a lot of listeners out there right now are going, why isn't he doing that? Because what Phil's saying makes a hell of a lot of sense. We're talking with Phil Simms, Super Bowl MVP. And when you think about this, Phil, is there a hurdle that you may think he may not be getting over right now? Is it reading defenses? Is it making those quick, effective decisions with accurate throws? What is he fighting most?
Yeah, I would say overall reading the defense has been good. It's not great, but it's been good. And, it's I don't know how to say this one thing, but if he improves just with the physical ability of just being what I call a knockdown thrower, it will change everything greatly. And, when I watch him, and I teach a lot of quarterbacks and all that, I see a few things, I go, oh, man, if he just, I'm not going to get into details, but if I saw why he missed this guy, and, I can see it. And I wish I'd have known all this stuff when I was playing. Damn, my career would have been different, but that's how it goes. So I'm always, I know it still bothers me. But once I started teaching so much, I learned so much, and I went, oh, my God. I was 55 years old and probably throwing the ball better than I ever had in my life. But those are the kind of things that you have to really work on and really dig into it. And I've seen it with many quarterbacks. I saw it with Peyton Manning. I saw it big time with Tom Brady up in New England. Mm-hmm. Tom Brady was a fanatic about throwing the ball. What did Bruce Arians say once? I've never been around a quarterback that likes to throw more than Tom Brady. And, of course, he liked it because he was unbelievably good at it. And it's a rush almost as a quarterback. Leon, it'd be like you, playing a game and just kicking the living crap out of the guy across from you. Man, when it's over, you go, yeah, that was awesome. And I just want to do it again. And, so some of these guys are in the league that really get into the fine-tuning of their throwing motions and stuff like that. It shows when I watch them play. So that would be one of the first things to say about Trevor. Let's get to a point where we don't ever miss a routine throw, and let's get to a point where we make more dynamic throws because we need small windows deep down the field, and that's enough room for us to make the play.
Well, kicking the crap out of people was quite often there, Phil.
Oh, I'm sure it was great.
Hey, Phil,
I wouldn't know what that feels like, but I had it kicked out of me quite a few times. So, but that's different, different spot.
Now, Phil, explain this to me. I mean, the back end of 2022, we saw Trevor. He was on the streak. I mean, he had 10 touchdowns and just one interception going into the playoffs against the San Diego Chargers. As of late, we've seen nothing of that. And I just know, as a player, when I played that offensive line, I was trending upwards because the game actually slowed down. When I started my rookie year, everything was like bullets flying, everything like that. The more I studied film and practice and all that other kind of stuff, I wasn't getting beat on the stuff I was used to get beat on my rookie year because the game had slowed down. I had an understanding of what guys were going to do before they did it. And I'm just thinking that as far as Trevor goes, he should be in that realm right now to where he's trending upward, where he should see stuff before it's there and make the accurate throws that he needs to be making.
Yeah, I understand. You're saying a lot of good things there. The one thing about it, the difference is you were doing it, and it was about you. You could do your job sometimes without the help of everybody else.
Right.
And, you get to be a quarterback, and if the pass rush week in and week out gets there a little sooner than it should for you to execute the play, it's going to get into your head. And that's going to start changing the way you think. And you go through the reads maybe too fast. Or maybe it's, you go through and you make a decision quicker, but it's the wrong decision because there's somebody else that the ball should have been gone to. And, as I watch their tapes and stuff, I see that every once in a while I go, man, and usually I can watch the play and tell you where the ball is absolutely supposed to go. But sometimes I just go, did he miss this wide open guy? And I watch and go, well, I don't know. I think he does this sometimes. And I don't mean to be so critical. I'm not, because I do like him a lot. But when he has somebody running the route and they get a look like he thinks they can go and get a big play out of it, he locks onto it and makes that throw. And, that's fine. Look at it. But if it's not there, let's get off of it fast and find the next guy who's probably going to be open. And I know I'm being a little generic here, but that's one of the things I do see when I watch Jacksonville's game. That if it's a double move, by God, he's going to throw that double move no matter what. And you predetermine it, and I understand it. I was there many, many times. And but it's the wrong thing a lot of times too, because he's covered, it's not open, and there's the next guy I see, and I go, wow, he's wide open. So that would have kept the drive going or put him in a much better situation.
Hey, Phil, as a guy who's played at a high level in this league, explain to everybody, because we talk about this all the time, and I don't think people really understand the enormity of the job of that position, where starting from getting the correct play call all the way to the line of scrimmage, changing the protections, dealing with safeties, looking safeties off. What's that 8-second play like for a quarterback?
Well, I'm a genius after the fact. I mean, I wish I could have done trained different. Yeah, we all are. Whatever. I'll say this: it's not good. It's great. I mean, oh my God, being a quarterback at an NFL team, and this is the way I always felt. This is what a great thing to have, and all the things that you're talking about. That was one of the parts that was fun. By God, I'm going to learn this play, and I'm going to do this, and all that stuff, and leading guys and being a little bit of the spark in practice when things are going wrong. Parcells, he wouldn't yell at the team if we were having a bad practice. Hell, he'd just single me out and tear me up. And he goes, Sims, by God, it's your offense and whatever. You get into this thing, and he goes, you're treating your offensive line. Take them out to dinner again. Buy them another gift. How's that working out for you as you get your butt kicked behind it, whatever? And I would just go, it's a quick story, but I'd go, he's right.
Yeah.
I'm the quarterback. I'm supposed to lead them, or at least, in the right way. And when it's not going the right way, I got to be able to change it, call people out, not to call them out, but know how to do that. And fortunately, Leon, I was one of those guys. I had the same offensive line over about 7 or 8 years, basically a lot of it. It moved one guy a year, maybe something like that. But, man, we had great rapport, and I could tell him the truth. If I'd get in the huddle and go, what the hell is going on here? And I would say things now, a lot of my offensive line, they all still live up here in New Jersey. And I ran into Carl Nelson recently, my right tackle, who was really, really good. And I said, man, Carl, I don't know why you guys just didn't punch me in the face. And he goes, well, why would we do that, Phil? And I go, because some of the things I would say to you, he goes, oh, no, it's all right. We needed you to say it to us. And I go, oh, wow. So I'm glad you took it the right way, because I had a mouth. I'm not saying I always used it, but I learned that from coaches, but I really learned it through Bill Parcells, how the dynamics of the team works, and he yelled more at the offensive line than any other part of the team, even though he was a defensive guy, because he knew if that offensive line was playing well, like I started out this conversation, it just changes your football team all around.
So before we let you go, just one thing I want to just see if I can zero in on, because you said you believe now, if I had it right, coaching is more important now than ever. So yeah. Doug Peterson coached his fanny off, and they got a statue to prove it. They beat the Tom Brady-led Patriots. What is he not doing now, in your estimation, versus what he did then? Well,
listen, he's had great success. I'll never forget standing on the field in Philadelphia. And Doug, I can't remember if he was with Kansas City then or with the Eagles, whatever. I said, man, do you want to be a head coach one day? And he goes, absolutely. I said, oh, man, good for you. Damn, great. And so for me to second guess what he's doing right, wrong, I have no idea what that is. I just know, and Leon, I want to hear your answer too, because you played a long time in the NFL, that the head coach is the guy. And we always hear about culture. It's real. It is real. Our head coach made the culture, and he kept us on our toes, and every day was the most important damn day of our life. And up here in New York, we got guys saying, well, we had guys that quit in the game. Are you kidding me? Just, first off, why would you ever say that? And if somebody said that, they would be called to the principal's office the next day, and we'll see what they say there. So, that's what I mean about that head coach has just got to be able to somehow know the right things to do, how to push the buttons. And when I say that, Leon might be the guy I could yell at when I needed the offensive line to get right in line. I might just, the coach or me would pick him out and just be all over him. But it would send a message to the other guys. And those other guys, we couldn't do that to them because it might hurt their feelings. And they couldn't take it. And they don't like to be criticized like that. And I just think it's something that's kind of got lost at times in the NFL. I think the head coach has got to be super strong and have a great feel for the football team at all times and knows how to manage it. It changes every damn day. And, they can adjust to it. Teach this guy one way, teach another guy another way. You got to know who you can really get after to give the message to the football team. And if you're one of those guys, you just got to take it and know that he's doing it for the betterment of the football team.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, Phil. Listen, I was blessed in my career. 2 years with Jimmy Johnson in college, Bill Cowart with the Steelers, and Tom Coughlin. They held players accountable. Yes, absolutely.
I'm laughing, man. That's hell. You just went through hell there, man. That's so.
All right, real quick before we go, Sims Complete Podcast. You and your son Matt. They can find that everywhere.
Yes, you can. It's on the Believe Network, but we're do it every week. We're going to do it later today. I don't have all the subjects picked out, but I'd like to pick out some good stuff, and I like to go against the grain. I listen to a lot of TV, what all these experts say, and I just go, that's just not true. So I talk about it on the podcast every single week. And, of course, we deal a lot with quarterbacks. And, everybody has their mind made up about quarterbacks. Oh, that guy stinks. And I just go, one of my friends, or one of my son's friends, Geno Smith. Mm-hmm. Geno is the man. I mean, he is the man. His personality is the toughness he plays with, the great throws, and, man, nothing ever changes him. He just keeps coming at you and all that. I love this. But I hear people going, Seattle should have drafted a quarterback last year. Why? So he could sit on the bench? It's amazing how – and it's Sam Darnold. Oh, my gosh, guys. He threw some interceptions a couple weeks. Oh, he's turning into Sam Darnold. Yeah. Please, give me a break. Shut up and admire what they're doing. How about this? I know I'm all over the place.
Yeah,
but I'm getting up. Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield were in Carolina. They benched them both in the same year.
That's right.
And look at them now.
Oh, my gosh.
So you tell me what's the difference?
Yeah,
they're in great situations with coaches that can lay it out there for them. Can you take advantage of it? And they are absolutely just rocking it. Baker Mayfield is just a week in and week out. I watch him every week because I can't help it. He's hilarious to watch. His body language. He had a play this past week against the Giants, which tortures me. Mm-hmm. the running back's running down the field. He starts sprinting behind him, gets in front of him, and makes the block.
It's incredible.
Now, does that sound like you'd like that quarterback?
And he trolled Tommy, which was funny, but the week before...
Oh, yeah, that was great.
He's the first quarterback that I've seen complete a pass stiff-arming somebody like he was Derrick Henry. It was incredible. Listen,
here's the real quick. I'll make it fit. Todd Bowles, somebody said, how would you describe Baker Mayfield? And Todd Bowles goes, well, if I told him to walk across the room and stick his face into the fan, he would. Yeah. And when I heard that, I laughed. I go, that's the man you want leading your football team. Yeah.
He's impressed me. He really has. Listen,
I'm happy for guys that get that second chance and really rip it up.
Yeah, and listen, have fun, keep doing what you're doing, and we appreciate your time, and happy Thanksgiving, because I'm just guessing that Sims Thanksgiving will be pretty damn good.
Yeah. Well, I hope it is, because I'm going to Dallas I'm going to do the game on radio. The Giants, of course, are playing Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And, man, I'm got my fingers crossed just that it's going to be a good game and the Giants can go out and start turning this thing around. So we'll see.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, Phil. We appreciate it.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Phil.
All right, Phil.
And it's funny, 4-point line, Dallas, and they're in. I think they may not have Tommy DeVito. They may have to go back to Drew Lock, the guy they jumped over when I was pretty much convinced they were tanking. It is XL Primetime. We're going to get to our XLP to the CFP coming up.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
Hey, bro, come through today, bro. We got to rap, bro.
There are great plays.
Dives ahead for the first down.
But in the end, there's always a play that stood out.
Touchdown!
The performance-painting high-performance play of the game on 1010XL.
Do the cartwheel,